Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 19th. It's August. It's the year 2022. Now, all those things are debatable, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm showing this to you yet again. November 12th, 2016. 8 predictions for the world in 2030 from the World Economic Forum. I've shown this to you many times. And this entire website, this entire sentence by the World Economic Forum has been debunked. This isn't real. Even though it's sitting right here, World Economic Forum, 8 predictions. I want to point to this particular. We are eating much less meat. Rather, like our grandparents, we will treat meat as a treat rather than a staple. Professor of Population says, it won't be a big agricultural or little artisan producers that win, but rather a combination of the two, with convenience food redesigned to be healthier and less harmful to the environment. Because suddenly the earth that God created for us to have dominion over and to live on is now the primary thing. These guys are making the earth the God, and we are its disciples or disposable human beings. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you recall, I showed you these. You see these delicious little $4.39, tax not included, delicious cricket food items. Now, I want you to bear in mind, we don't have crickets where I live anymore. They're completely and utterly gone because of people spraying things like True Green and using Monsanto products all over the yard. It kills the crickets, which in turn kills the animals that feed on crickets, because everything is an ecosystem. They always seem to leave this out one way or the other. Everything is an ecosystem, but let me digress. 8 predictions for the world. We'll be eating much less meat. And I explained to you that they were using things like this right here to get to the children first, because that's what they always have to do. The children will be the New World Order soldiers or New World Order sacrifices, depending on how you look at it. But here's what they're teaching them in school right now.
You've never eaten a cricket before? No? You tried? Where do you find a cricket to eat? So there's this company right here in Manitoba. They're called Prairie Cricket Farms. And what they do is they farm crickets and they put them in nice little bags, and then you can eat the crickets. If you feel brave enough, at one time maybe you'll be able to eat it.
It tastes good.
What flavor do you got?
I have no idea. It's kind of like a peanut. I think I'm so familiar with it. It tastes good. Yeah. It tastes like wait, which one do you have?
And how was it? Was it good?
Yes.
Yeah. Here we go. Prairie Cricket Farms. Here's their website right here. I'll leave links below, etc. But it's sustainable protein, ladies and gentlemen. Sustainable protein. Manitoba raised crickets 20, what is it? Whatever that says. Cricket powder. You can eat cricket powder now. I'll tell you what. You guys see where I do. I travel, I meet people, and I check things out for myself. Not just sitting here looking at the internet, basing my opinion on what I see on the interwebs. I actually go around and see it in real life if I possibly can. And I'll tell you what, there's a whole hell of a lot more cows, farms, etc. than there are crickets and bugs. Do you see what I'm saying? But this is exactly what's coming, and it's coming fast. Do you remember when everything was just suddenly, everything was COVID? Everything was COVID. And now suddenly everything is climate change. And everything has gone from climate change to suddenly we need to eat bugs. This is a thing. And they're teaching the children, which means it's coming. This is their plan for you. I saw this in California about a week ago. And I thought it was strange because you don't see too many of these up and around anymore. But read this. This is what they're telling you. Unvaccinated people are 30 times more likely to die from COVID-19. Well, that's a complete, total, and utter. And speaking of crickets and bugs and such being dead and, unavailable, even though they're allegedly sustainable, grown on a farm, etc., myself and Mike had a run-in last night, and it was quite the little event. If you're incredibly sensitive or overly Christian and curse words really offend you, be careful, because we might swear a couple of times in this video. It happens. I got him. Turn that thing on. Turn it on. He almost just ran Mike's foot over. I got that on video 2 ways, brother. Good. What is today, August? Did he show you the MSDS? No. It's fucking illegal. Yep. Totally illegal. And then he almost just ran you over, and I got that on video. Yeah. I got that on video, Mike. Yeah. Look at the cloud of smoke that thing's blowing. Oh, what up? You just asked him for the MSDS and he refused? He refused. That's illegal. Totally 100% illegal, America. You gonna stand up now? So that was the town's mosquito spraying truck that shows up as soon as it gets dark out. So at 9 o'clock last night, we could hear this guy. I've been here for 6 days. They've sprayed twice. They drive up and down every single street in town, and they spray this massive cloud of mosquito spray. So it's basically just coating absolutely everything with some random spray. Who knows what it is? And when you, as a citizen of the world, the citizen of the state, the town, etc., approach the employee and ask for the material safety data sheet, which is basically you saying, what are you spraying all over me, my garden, my pets, my children, my vehicle, my house, etc.? They're supposed to say, we're spraying this. This guy had no clue what an MSDS sheet was, number one. And number two, when Mike asked him about it, he almost ran him over. And then the police show up. Town police, the sheriff, state police. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So if you have the audacity to ask the town what it is they're spraying you with, not once a week, not once a month, they've sprayed twice since I've been here, twice, and I've tried to chase them down. And then last night, Mike stopped them right in front of the house. It was unbelievable. But long story longer is, we have no idea what those 2 huge chemical tanks in the back of that truck were. But I'll tell you what, there isn't a spray that is simply mosquito compliant. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not specifically targeted at mosquitoes. It kills everything, which means we have no swallows at night. We have no bats at night. They're breaking down the entire they're breaking down absolutely everything, and it should be obvious by now. But when people like us actually stand up, they send the authorities. And these guys came ready for a fight. But we didn't give them one because there was no reason for it.
Got your MSDS sheet in there?
What's that?
Your MSDS sheet? Material Safety Data.
Street down.
MSDS. Material Data Safety Sheet. What's your spraying? You have it with you. You have got to...
I'm sure it's in here somewhere.
Well, I need to see it. Until I see it, stop.
You're holding me up. I'm going to call the police.
Do it. Call him.
Some of our best videos aren't really...
At any rate. So when Mike goes out there to simply, because I was appalled. I had never seen this. We don't have this where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have crickets. We have nothing because everybody where I live uses True Green and Monsanto. Their grass is all perfectly green, etc., because they spray chemicals all over it. But there's no crickets anymore. Not too long ago, my neighbor, who's likes wildlife like I do, texted me at like 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock at night and said, dude, there's a cricket in my yard. When I was a kid, there was crickets. That's just how it works. They're gone now. But suddenly, they're a sustainable food source. And when you go outside and try to ask, all he did was ask for the MSDS sheet. The guy didn't even know what he was talking about. When he said MSDS, he said, oh, is that a street? What? You know, like, you'd think that the cops that showed up, the guy that's spraying, would be concerned that they're driving around with an enormous aerosol can spraying huge clouds. I'd never seen anything like this. And they do it multiple times a week. Because of all those millions of people that died that time because of mosquitoes. I mean, what kind of a absolute bunch of pussies is this country turning into is now we're afraid of mosquitoes. A mosquito. Oh, somebody got malaria. Dude, this ain't the jungle, dude. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the jungle and mess around, you might get malaria. It happens. But it don't happen here. I don't want to hear. It's just amazing. And then you got people like this constantly pushing it. Why is everything that's being forced upon people always the same exact people, yet there's no conspiracy? It's just a conspiracy theory. This is who's behind it at all times. Bill Gates. Can we outsmart the world's deadliest animal? Now, if you remember, he did a video like this last year, and I posted a video about it, which resulted in Bill Gates getting 66,000 thumbs down, and then magically my YouTube channel disappeared. It happens. You know what I mean? Some people have to actually take the hit. They got to take one for the team, and I did. And yet people still just chug along. Myself, Mike Decker, and many others are actually out there in the dark during the day, going to see if these lakes are drying up, seeing what these guys are spraying absolutely everywhere. We try absolutely everything we possibly can to wake up and motivate our fellow Americans, and it ain't working. We're simply handing it over. These people are telling you you're going to eat bugs now, and you're good with it? Oh, it's just a kid. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And it's getting faster and faster and faster because they're meeting almost zero resistance. At any rate, Richie from Boston, I'm out.